Okay, what I'm doing is working on this petal next. So do you see how I'm working on everything holistically? That means I'm kind of working on all the drawing. Now I have to focus in some areas, but generally I've got value in lots of places. And this has to be darker. I'm creating an edge because that's a fairly crisp edge from there to there. In fact, I want to erase some of that where it should be nice and crisp. I'm also going to make it nice and crisp along here, but I've got to drop the value so that it's the same as that edge. Like it's not going to stay an outline. Outlines are no good. The only place there should be outlines is where they truly exist, where it's just a thin edge. So for example, here, there's like this thin, narrow band of 2 value. I'm going to erase that in there. Here I've got another one where there's like this little edge of 2 or 1 to 2 right there. So that's the closest thing we're going to have to an outline, but it's really just an edge of the petal that's really thin. Even these wouldn't consider lines, they're just small areas of shadow that seems to be a line. Creating a nice crisp edge with my 2B. And later I'll go back in and do what I did over there, which is to blend it out from a 5-4-3. And I'm going to put a nice crisp, erase any hints of might need to soften up that value a little bit later. Okay, I want to worry about this edge too. It comes up and rounds over. Now that I've created kind of where those edges are, now I'm going to come back in with my 8B because it's super dark in there, and lay in some graphite. In fact, maybe I'll even do it with my graphite stick. That's faster. Since this is a detailed area, and it's hard to get in there hard to get in with a tissue without pushing it all over the place. So this is going to work a little bit better, I think, to get right up next to that. Right up next to that edge. I'm not pushing hard, so light. Okay, so you also want to try maybe a Q-tip. And this tends to have a very, very soft transition too. And so it's a little more detailed than a tissue. I need more dark. This is a 5, that's a low 4, so it's still pretty dark too, but it's not as dark as the 5 next to it. I'm laying in that graphite pretty easy, right? Notice how I'm holding my pencil. I'm not pressing down tight or hard. I'm only going to do that generally where I need a dark, dark 5. And blend that in, right? We're going for a textureless, meaning no texture. I want it to be as photographic as possible. Now it's still graphite, it's not a photograph, I get it, but it's challenging to make it textureless. And I think if you can figure it out, you'll like it. Do the hard thing. Starting to lose that edge a little bit. And so I'm going to bring this, clean that edge up a little bit. Like that. Okay, so that same thing I'm going to do now with this transition. I've got to clean up that edge. And I've got to drop more value into this. In fact, I'm going to use my graphite stick and drop a little more value in right here. Yeah. Now there's that soft transition from there into there. It's not a hard line, it's a soft transition. Still not dark enough, so I'm going to drop some more in there with my 8B.